Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen.
I haven't seen any iteration of
the full Monty.
No, man. Listen. First of all, let me do this so people can understand. That's Mario's ethos. That's his community.
Oh, Lord.
see, I got you. So you see what I'm doing here. Listen, I can't say that I'm going to inspire people, and people are going to sit back and say, what you going to talk about? What I realize is so people can understand, not that it's a big deal, nobody cares. I have made a promise in the last 3 or 4 years that I would partake in learning more about the community I live in, because in LA, you have one goal, to get in a car and drive as fast as you can to the other end and not pay attention to the left, the right, and the middle, which means is you're driving through communities, and I have made a promise that at this point I'm going to learn more. How will I do it? And I said I'll do it on a bike. And since then, so people can understand why they see me, probably for those, the few that see me, that head has generated so much conversation from all walks of life, not just black, people of color. I mean, it is like a greeting card when I get on the bike. So that was the inspiration for what I do. Now, with that being said, it also says that, well, what are you going to cover, Victor? I said, I'm going to cover the life I'm involved in. It just so happens I like to use the bike because it transfers conversation. So if I go into a store, if I stop somewhere, it is immediate that people start asking questions. Now, recently, I thought it was an experience that the Rams parade was not a big deal. We didn't have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. But what I was doing is going, let me see if there's going to be some transparency and overindulgence in security. I was there a little late. I couldn't push through it, but I felt good. Why? Maybe because it was a celebration and I didn't see the obvious where things were kind of getting over policed. That was a big deal to me because I'm in LA and what that means. So I have what they call this this journey that I go on where I say the parade ends at the Coliseum. Why is that a big deal? Will we consider that our community? I consider it my community. And so I have to also apologize to Mario. Because
yeah, where is that?
I sent it on your phone.
You sent it on my phone?
I forgot to send it to him. And I should have sent it to email so you can actually see it. So I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to send it to your email, Mario, while I'm doing this. That's my fault, you guys, because I was so busy going, he's going to check it out on his phone. But Mario's he was in his focus, which I have to allow him to.
Yeah, because where is it at the website?
Right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That was one of the things. That's what I'm going to send it to you because I didn't put it in the columns and in the trends or shout outs. But to continue on, let me just go on to what the subject I thought was more important to me while I send this to Mario. I thought it was very important for me to talk about a situation where the NFL looks terribly bad. And it dealt with the idea that there is an underrepresentation of ownership as it relates to people of color. And there's this new movement that's happening that deals with NASCAR. So I asked Mario yesterday, did you watch NASCAR to see the Super Bowl of racing, which is the Daytona 500? Do you know that a person of color almost won that race? And I was asking them that to say, how much do people know about that if you're not a fan? It's just not promoted. So for the most part, I had told Mario, you should check this out from the perspective that I'm bringing it to you, that also NASCAR is leapfrogging in the NFL. Why? How many black owners do you have in the NFL? None. How many black owners do you have in basketball? What, one? Michael Jordan? Do you know how many co-owners are in NASCAR that are people of color? 4. 4. So what does that tell you? They have embraced the community in a way where you have co-ownership, and they're mostly co-owners. And they are related to the movement that this is new fan base coming. And the new fan base basically is saying, don't worry about converting the old community. And when I say that, we're talking about old fans, traditional fans. But they have gotten involved in people who are former basketball players. So if I say the name Brad Daugherty, you think a 7-foot ball player from the Cleveland Cavaliers who was trying to stop Michael Jordan. And how would you know that now he's a co-owner in NASCAR? Okay, how would you know this? You probably don't follow it. Pitbull, co-owner in NASCAR. They're finding their way. Floyd Mayweather got his own team, okay? And Michael Jordan, in combination with a team that's already made an impact yesterday. And when I say that, they only have 3 cars in the race. And 24, it's called 2311. And Bubba Wallace, who came in second, is considered what you would call the student, where they have the 2 primary drivers who've already won championships or have won many races, and he got this close. He has come in second twice. And doing so, to me, he's establishing what he calls, I guess you can call it, his permutation through a new ownership that's making a statement. That wasn't as important to me. It was important to recognize that you now have this movement of minority influence. And so when I look at Pitbull, who comes from Cuban immigrants, I didn't think of Pitbull having this interest. If I look at Floyd Mayweather, they're finding something here that is telling them this works. And what did I do when I compared it to the NFL? The most popular sport, Mario, the most popular sport is terribly underrepresented. And at the same time, here's NASCAR with a history that says there's a leapfrogging that's taking place. What was more important about that? How soon do you think, how many years will it take before not NASCAR, but the NFL has its first official owner? Now, I know it's a billionaires boys club. For the most part, it's easier in NASCAR. But I find that the people who are trailblazing, when I look at Michael Jordan, who happens to have feet in both sports, NASCAR and basketball. And so you have this movement that's happening, and I'm applauding it. Because if you would have asked me 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, NASCAR was going to fall off the cliff, well, where should people's money go now? If you see this happening, is this a direction where you think you can have more success, or should we just wait for the NFL? What do you think, Mark?
Well, I think the NFL does nothing without. I think power will not allow you to take anything without a struggle.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
It has to be a struggle. It has to be a struggle. It's intended to be a struggle. And part of the struggle really is for everyone to acknowledge what kind of struggle it is. It's the fact that this goes on in 2022
Right.
shows you how bad it is. But it took until now for us to be willing to discuss it.
Right.
Up until now, there would be no discussion. And for the folks who keep saying, well, we need to move on, there is no moving on without acknowledgement. Can we say that again? All of the folks who keep saying, well, why don't we just move on? No, that means why don't we just let them get away with it? No, there is no moving on without acknowledgement. You know, there's acknowledgement and atonement, and then we move on.
Now, let me ask you from this position, though. I'm getting into the position of, do you see yourself becoming more of a fan of NASCAR because of what it is doing as far as ownership? That means you have say-so in decisions that are put in people's laps. That's just not because they're
NASCAR has no choice. If they want to go international and then they recognize the amount of dollars this is, they have to abandon being the sport of redneck racists and go mainstream.
Are they doing a better job than in the NFL? At this point, in comparison to ownership. Ownership, Mario. I'm not
See,
talking
I
about
don't know, because having a team to me is not necessarily ownership. Okay, you now get to be a member of their club because you paid a certain amount of dollars. But I don't know if I consider having a team in NASCAR any degree of ownership. You mean you own your team?
Well, there are That's why I said it. We're talking about co-ownership of teams.
Yeah.
We're talking about Michael Jordan basically being an owner of a team.
Well, I'll say something when I see part of the NASCAR board of directors
Right.
and the ownership of the NASCAR entity itself. When
Right.
they have some people of color there, then that's when I'll ring the gong.
Okay, so progress
Progress, yes.
between the NFL and NASCAR as it compares to ownership at this time.
Yeah,
because we're not getting even coaches in, much
No.
less. Okay?
Yeah, and what is perceived as progress, but which may very well be, to a large degree, window dressing.
It could be. It could be. But then we're talking about the same in politics.
The same, exactly the
right.
same.
It's the same, right?
It's exactly the same,
you
which
got-
is why I say it could so easily be
Right.
window dressing, because it is.
Right.
You know, it's like Facebook and what they've done, and Meta and all these other people. When you start looking at them, the things that they voiced are not exactly the things that they put into effect.
Right.
And we have to hold them accountable.
Right.
At every step, we have to hold them accountable.
And that's the part. So one thing I wanted from Mario, that even if he didn't see the link, I wanted his passion.
Well, I know.
want
And one
the
of the
passion
things
back.
Omari points out, too, is that the Pit Bull Club that proudly featured here is actually partly owned by Herb. We know what Herb's last name from Roscoe's
Yes.
Chicken and Waffles.
Yes.
So Roscoe,
Yes.
I got to give it up for the
Okay,
chicken
see,
and waffles.
so wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're applauding because it's food.
Hey,
Damn, man, what kind of, you know what?
hey, you know, wait. Let's be real.
Well, you know what, this is
We
jacked
do
up.
acknowledge partial progress here. You know, because that's
Chicken
about
and
all the
waffles.
progress we get. Shit.
'Cause
So we
you
acknowledge-
know what? Mario already talked to her, so now he's applauding.
That's right. Send me something. You remember what you promised? I want my chicken, and I like all thighs. So send them over here.
You have to see if Herb was in the chat room going, "We're making progress. I'll give you a free meal if you come in after the show." What will Mario say?
What can I say? We're gonna make them help. We can get Pitbull and Herb over here. We'll serve them up right.
Hey, listen, you did your shout outs, right? To your people, right?
Well, yeah, I try to do it ongoing, but go on, do your shout out, because then we got one last comedic thing I want to talk about before we get out of here.
Just send it back saying hi to VR. VR, you know who it is. You know, Zenobia. Hey, Zenobia, haven't seen you in a minute. Jose. I mean, listen, I'm just giving my respects and shout outs to those who are in the chat room. I see you in here. I'm trying my best to sit back and follow up. Jumont, I see you as well. Lucy, Lily, I got you. Just don't put anything that's a violation in my chat room, or I will display it.
Man, I'm saying you got some kind of. Look at some of your fans, Lily. What's happening, Lily?
These are good people.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm just saying.
It's a good
I
people,
said it was
man.
good. I'm just saying what's happening, Lily. You know what's up? You know, that's what I'm saying.
You know what? I see what.
I'm just saying-
If I sit back and say, hey, "What's up, Chris? What's up, Rashid?" You feel different, right?
Hell yeah,
Okay.
and that's okay. You know, because I'm distinctly hetero, but you know, I appreciate my gay fans.
I didn't say okay. I'm just saying, brother.
I get some love from the gay community
How did he
for my hair.
transfer me say holler at the brothers
I'm
today?
just saying.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody.
I don't know. You, dude. You get another coffee.
Well, Vic went down to the Coliseum.
All right.
Okay, so we didn't get a chance to see this. Vic, what's the matter, Vic? It won't go full screen.
You know why?
It's the way you embedded it.
That's right.
Oh, man. Okay, hold up. We got to
No,
go
no.
see. No, I want
Go-
damn full
just
screen.
Go to YouTube.
Shit.
See,
Excuse me.
You see what happens. You see what happens, man. You just gotta understand. Don't worry. You're at the Super Bowl champion.
I'm starting it over.
Oh, now you're gonna start all over.
That's right. It's just that good.
Waffles and food. You're at the Super Bowl champion, LA Rams. I had to come here to support. I didn't want to get to the street parade because it was just too packed.
got my phone.
Victor Allen
Hey, what's up, man?
with Ethos.
Yeah.
Leave it to Victor to come up with some shit you don't know what he's talking about.
But,